Let's do some drills targeting the core, the back, chest and shoulders. We'll do a minute for each drill. We're going to start on our all fours with tiger pose, bracing the core, reaching through the right leg and extending through the left arm. Perhaps fist the left hand to really make sure you're engaging that long line down through the core. Keeping the right arm supporting you nice and straight, trying not to collapse in the upper body. Steady breath. Perhaps you might begin for the next 30 seconds to draw elbow to knee if you want an extra challenge, crunching lower abdominals, keeping yourself steady and level. Awesome. Just changing it up, pushing back into a child's pose and maybe sliding the right arm underneath you, resting on your right ear, just releasing off the arm and the wrist. When you're ready, rock back up onto all fours, knees under hips, left hand under shoulder. Sweep the left leg back, really engaging the glute. Make sure that you are supported well here. Reach through the right fist and engage the core, drawing the low belly in, draw the low ribs in. Really feel that extension between right knuckles and left heel. Find that fullness of breath. Try to keep the left hip wrapping down towards the ground and not opening up. And if you want to add an extra challenge, start to draw elbow to knee, bracing the core. Inhale as you extend, exhale as you crunch. And then bring yourself back to your all fours and sink back into a child's pose. Draw the left shoulder and ear to ground. Just releasing off the left wrist. And then mosey on down onto the floor and rest on your belly, pointing the toes. With your wrists under your shoulders, we're going to prepare for Shalambhasana, perhaps with some variations, grounding the pelvis, bracing the core, lifting the sternum and reaching through the heels. If you want to add variations, the arms come wide in a T and then back to a W. Reach forward in a Y and back to a W. Then click the heels 3 times. Winter is coming. Again, out to a T, squeeze to a W. Reach to a Y, squeeze to a W. Tapping the heels 3 times. Again, inhaling and exhaling as you reach. Back to a W. Reach. Back to a W. Click the heels. Keep reaching through the feet. One more time. Big inhale and exhale. Reach, bracing your core, drawing your navel in, planting the pelvis down. Click the heels. And then we're going to reach the arms back. You can either ground the feet here or keep the feet upwards and just flap your wings. Flap and squeeze. Keep lifting the sternum. Final breaths. 1 minute for this pose. And then come to relax. Take a break. Relax the feet. Relax the arms. Relax the thighs. I'm preparing for our next drill. Forearm plank. So you can connect the hands together and place the 4 elbows under your shoulders so you're on your forearms. Lift the hips and reach through the heels. Now you may do some forearm shifties here, moving in a long line, bracing your core, shifting forwards and backwards, or just stay static, up to you. Then we will stay static for at least 3 slow and steady breaths. Feel like you're drawing your elbows to toes and toes to elbows. Really engage that front body. Relax the neck, lengthen it. Then you might add some knee drops, reaching through the heels, still bracing your core. Always with breath, almost there. And staying in that plank if you can, and come back into shifty, shifting the shoulders forward, heels back, keeping that core long and braced, or just be static here. Come back to a static hold if you haven't already. And then drop to your knees and peel back so that your hips are over your knees, elbows are forwards, and just draw the hands behind the head. Allowing for a chest stretch, shoulder release. And steady the breath. Hips are high, chest is low. Just slowly moving out of that shape, widen the hands a little bit and press back into a downward facing dog. Just stretch out the chest and the arms here. And then maybe start to widen the hands a little bit more, and we're going to prepare for some downward dog press-ups. So allow the weight to come a little bit forward, bending at the elbows and dipping down in your downward dog. Great one to build strength in the shoulders, keeping your core braced, and you can bend the knees, of course. You can even take the weight a little bit further back into the legs to take it out of the arms. You are going for a minute. Go with your breath. Exhale as you press up. If you want added challenge, you might extend one leg up. Exhaling to press up. Three-legged dog, your choice, or stay with two legs down. Change it up if you're on three-legged dog. Extend the other leg. And dip, press up. It doesn't matter how deep you dip, as long as you feel the action on the press up. And drop down to your knees. Coming for Anahat Tanasana, a nice chest and arm stretch. You can bend at the elbows and bring the hands behind you. Or you can extend into a full Anahat Tanasana, chest stretch. Maybe drawing the chin along the mat to look along the mat. You choose. What's right for you? What is your practice? Ease yourself out gently and prepare for forearm side plank, coming up onto your forearms, elbows under shoulders, and really brace your core. Start to slide the right forearm across the mat, moving from the thoracic and letting the pelvis follow. Side plank, 3 pulses, slow breaths. We're keeping our feet separate, hips width apart. Slowly rock back, moving from the thoracic, letting the pelvis follow, and flip the left forearm across the mat and lift 3 pulses. Make sure that your elbow's under your shoulder. If your lower shoulder does feel a little bit unstable, take the top hand to the shoulder and just brace it down and back. Flipping over to the other side, right side again. Engaging your core, lifting the waist. Exhaling as you pulse. Mobilizing back to forearm, left arm across, and slide into forearm on the left side last time. Pulse, stay with it, stay with breath, no strain. Rolling back into forearm and dropping onto your belly. Just take a break there. Number of steadying breaths. Bravo. Well done, the drills are done. We're just coming up for a seated stretch to release the lower back and stretch out the hips. We're taking Gomukhasana legs, So the left leg is under and the right leg is on top, stacking the knees. And we're wrapping left arm under and right elbow on top and taking eagle arms. Try and lift the upper arms, move the wrists in front of you so we really have a good stretch for the shoulders and between the shoulder blades, and maybe you're dropping your chin towards your upper arms to release the neck. Steady breath. As you release, we're going to drop the right arm down, the left arm comes overhead, just taking a little bit of a reach through the waist there, and then drop the top arm, the left arm behind you, back of the hand up towards the thoracic, moving the left shoulder back and letting the head drop, right ear to shoulder for some neck release. Steady breath. Of course, if the lower body in Gomukhasana legs does not work for you, just choose a seated position that is comfortable for you. And stay here with this neck and shoulder release for a number of breaths. And then rise up, supporting your head up the way, and just free your legs. Maneuver them to the other side. So the right leg is under, the left thigh is on top. The right arm goes under and the left arm on top, taking eagle arms, or maybe you're just catching your shoulder blades, finding a release that way. With eagle arms, we're lifting the upper arms and trying to move the wrists over the elbows. Maybe the head drops down, chin towards the upper arms to release the neck. Find a steady breath and a nice tall spine. After a few breaths there, we're going to start to reach over to the left side, leaning into your left arm and reaching right arm overhead, finding this waist stretch, a nice stretch for the hip as well. And then taking your right arm round and back, so the back of the hand is up towards the thoracic, and let the head drop over to the left side, left ear to shoulder. Working to feel a release on the right side of neck and trapezius. Slow, steady breath. Just guiding yourself back up and out of the stretch. Maybe roll the shoulders, free the legs, give them a little jiggle. And come back to center, knowing that winter is coming.